Hi, my name is John Shinstock, and today we're going to be talking about the installation of a Kody Technologies bike rack light onto a Thule XTR Pro bike rack. Thanks for joining us. So I have the bike rack in the upright and stored position, and the first thing we're going to do is remove these top two screws holding the last tray in place and loosen these bottom two screws here. What's going to happen is the light's going to install between the tray and the frame here, so right between this gap you see here, and we're going to replace these screws with some longer ones. The current ones aren't bad. They're just the new ones are a little bit longer, and I'll show you some images of those in a minute. But first I'm going to remove these two screws. You'll need a 5mm Allen wrench to perform this step, and once they're loose you can just remove them out of there. And the screws we're replacing them with will require a 6mm Allen wrench. And the reason we're only removing two is because we want to keep the tray in place. We're going to replace all four of them, but for now, to get the light in, we're removing two screws, and then we're going to set the light in place, replace those screws, and then replace the bottom screws. So you're going to replace the button head cap screw with the patch on it that's on your bike rack with the provided socket head cap screw and lock washer. It's a little bit longer, and it'll make sure that it fastens your tray and the Kody Light to your bike rack correctly. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna drape the power cable back behind the rack, and then we're gonna slide the new light right between the trays here. So luckily we have them, the lower one's a little loose, and then the plates will line up with the other plate. And then we have these longer screws. I'm just going to start them by hand real quick to get everything going. And the tray, I'm about to stand up so you can get them started. These are the longer socket head cap screws. And for these, we'll need a 6mm Allen wrench. Just gonna tighten them up. Once you hit that patch, it's going to require some extra force to tighten the screws. But I'm not going to go all the way. Before I get that fully installed, I'm going to remove these button heads. Take the washer off of them, load it on the cap screw, go back the larger wrench, and feed those into the rack like that. And then the last one, back and forth with the wrench. Might be able to hear in the background it's getting it's a fall, it's about to rain, which is a good time to have a light on your rack because it's easier to see on your way to the trail. So anyways, now I've got the screws started, I'm just going to tighten it up. So the last thing to do is going to be some cable management and routing cable from the light down to your power supply in your vehicle. And as you've probably seen, it requires a 4-pin connection on your vehicle, and there's some adapters if you have a 7-pin or other size down to a 4-pin. So what I'm using to route the cable, and this isn't included in the current Thule Pro, he's included in a couple other racks, but I've installed this thing. It's been here for quite a long time. It's actually holding up pretty well. It's a 3M cable tie holder, but I put one here. I'm going to zip tie it right back here, a little bit of space, and then I'm going to run the rest of it down to the side of the rack and put some zip ties there. I'm not going to record me doing that, but I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. If you do want one of these and you're placing an order, just give us a comment. We'll throw a couple in the bag. They're kind of nice. You can buy bags of them from Amazon, but not everyone needs a bag of 100. So if you want a couple, just let us know and we'll throw some in there. All right, so the light's installed and I've run the cable back to the supply at the vehicle. You see I ran it here. I've installed one zip tie. I cut the ends flush with some wire cutters. basically. You want to make them flush so they're not sticking out and hurting you. There's not a personal preference to how you run the cable, so this is just some general ideas. I've made a service loop here at the back. The nice thing about this rack is all the moving parts are inside this section here. There's no area where the cable can get pinched like some of the other racks have. So this is kind of nice. And then I've just made a little service loop, put a couple cable ties there. And then how much you have it stick out here, it really depends. I could probably make this shorter because my vehicle has a long extension here, but if I put my rack onto another car, they might have a rigid mount here and won't have this extra extension. So it might be okay to leave this here. And you can also push and pull this in and out. These aren't super tight, but they're tight enough to hold everything in place. All right, let us know if you have any questions. Hey, thanks for joining us today. If you have any questions, you can check out our website at www.kodytechnologies.com, or feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email. Have a good day.